last, we talked about the Mendel's law of inheritance. Talked about the law of segregations of genes, and we talked of the law of assortment of genes. In today's class, talking about the process of crop improvement. Like, what are the process of crop improvement? The process of crop, we have three different processes of crop improvement. We have the introduction, we have the selection, we have the breeding and hybridization. So we'll be taking the process one after the other. Then for the introduction, this involves the importation of some varieties of crops with desirable characters into areas where they have not existed before. When you introduce a new thing, when you import a new variety into a particular crop, maybe this particular crop they don't have height in this particular crop, they're always short. Then when you put in another varieties of it, okay, once this particular crop to have the characteristics, to have a height characteristics, then when you bringing it in, that's just the introduction. When you import a new varieties into the crop, that's what introduction is all about. Advantages of introduction: it helps to improve new varieties of crops to a new area. It may enhance greater productivity. It may also perform better if there is a better climatic condition in the new location. It may also perform better if there is better soil condition in the new area. Absence of pests and diseases also. It helps to upgrade the quality of the local varieties of the crops. When you introduce a new varieties, it just makes the absence of pests and diseases. It may also perform better if there is a better soil condition in the new area. Disadvantages of introduction: there is the possibility of introducing a new crop disease. No, you won't know. You introducing a new variety, you might also be introducing a new crop disease, and the new crop may not be able to adapt to climatic conditions in the new location. The new crop you are introducing might not be able to adapt to the climatic condition in the new location. It also introduces new pests to the new environment. The introduced crop may not be able to adapt to soil conditions of the environment. Selection as another form of crop improvement. This involves the artificial picking of crops with desirable characteristics which are most favored by the environment. The selection is just when you artificially pick the crop that you know it is desirable, that the characters in this particular crop is what you want. This is what I need for my. This is what I need. Maybe I want the fair skin, this particular seed color. I want the seed texture. I want this taste in my particular seed. So you unpick them. So you unpick those traits you want into a particular design, into a particular crop. That's just selection. When you artificially pick of crops that which have the desirable characteristics you need. Method of selection, which includes, we have mass selection. In mass selection, crops are selected or rejected on the basis of their own performance or merit. We also have the pure line selection. Only one crop plant with a good character is selected in this pure line selection. You only select the best one out of the crop. You select the best one. We have the P-degree selection. We have the P-degree selection. Crops are selected on the basis of the performance of their ancestors. Let's say for this particular maize, the ones you planted like 3 years ago, particular seeds were very good, so you select them based on the ancestors. That's the P-degree selection. When you select the maize based on their ancestors. We have the progeny selection. In this selection, crops planted are selected on the basis of the performance of their offspring. When you select when you select a crop based on the performance of their offsprings, maybe in this particular plant the ancestors doesn't do well, but the offsprings are produced better than the ancestors. You pick the offspring instead of the ancestors. That's just it. Advantages of selection. It ensures that only the best naturally available crops is grown. Crops with desired qualities are selected, and seeds from best stands are multiplied for distributions. And also, crops with undesirable characters are detected and rejected. When the advantage is just like when you ensure a natural variability of crops, and make sure that it is always the best ones that are being selected, and seed with best stands, you distribute them. This particular seed is the best, then you distribute it. Crops with the ones that are not good are easily detected and you are easily rejected. Also, it also reduces the spread of disease and pests. When you know that on this particular seed there are a lot of disease and pests, you won't select them, so it reduces the spread of disease and pests. What are the disadvantages of selection? Selection is tedious and time consuming. You have to be picking them one after the other. You have to monitor a particular seed before you would know if this has a desirable trait for you to use or not. And it is very expensive in terms of time and money. You have to consume time. You have to consume. You already said it is time consuming. It's very expensive in terms of time and money. So it requires experts which may not be available. You have to make use of an experts who would know the in and out of a particular crop, and these experts may not even be available. It brings about the elimination of some desirable traits of the parent stock. If you might say desirable trait in a parent stock, but if that particular parent stock that you see, the trait you see in the parent stocks has pest or disease, you won't want to take it. So that particular trait might die off like that. And the third process of crop improvement is breeding and hybridization. Hybridization is a method by which an offspring is produced through the crossing of two different plant varieties of the same species, which means let's say it will still be yam, but it might just be a crossing between the water yam and the bitter yam. That's just the cross varieties of two different plants of the same species. They are both yam, but can either be cocoa yam or bitter yam. Types of breeding. We have the inbreeding. This is the pollination and fertilization of closely related crop plants in order to retain the certain desirable traits. The plants must be closely related. It shouldn't be outside. It should be the outside of that particular crop plant, and this can lead to pure breed or pure line. And we also have the cross breeding. This is the pollination and fertilization of unrelated crop plants belonging to different breeds, and this results in the production of an offspring which is superior to the average performance of the parent. When you produce an offspring which has a more performance than the parent, that's just why we make use of this crossbreeding. And this crossbreeding is called the hybrid vigor, which is the heterosis. It's also known as heterosis. What are the advantages of breeding? It can produce a superior offspring, resulting in hybrid vigor or heterosis, which is the crossbreeding. The progeny grows more rapidly in the crossbreeding. Production of pure line. It produces more pure line crops, and that's inbreeding. Offspring can withstand variations of environment. That's also in the crossbreeding. What are the disadvantages of breeding? It could lead to inbreeding depression, which is the depression of loss in vigor and performance of offsprings. there is a drop in production or yield of crops in terms of quantity and quality. That's also in the inbreeding. It may lead to poor or low resistance to disease attack. When you keep using the same thing in out, it will have a low resistance to disease. We also have some method of improving our crop productivity. What are the methods of improving our crop productivity? Productivity of crops can be achieved through a combination of methods, which includes: number one is crop improvement method. Crop can be improved through introduction, selection, and hybridization. We've said that before. And also proper timing of planting. Crops should be grown at the right time to avoid high temperature, inadequate rainfall, or abundance of pests and diseases during the growth. We have to make sure we plant our crops at the right time, planting them at the right time. And that one is adaptation of better cultivation method, such as crop rotation, which adds nutrients to the soil. It also prevents erosion. It also controls pests and disease outbreaks, and it also helps to increase our yield. Use of manures and fertilizers as another ways of achieving our crop productivity. The use of manures like our farmyards, compost, and green manures in combination with the use of fertilizers helps to add nutrients to the soil, and it also promotes good growth of crops. Another one is control of pest crops. The control of pest crops, which causes reduction in yield and growth can help in the improvement of the crops. Also, control of disease crop, as we control our pests, we also have to control the disease, and it can also help to increase our yield. Use of resistant varieties. Some varieties of crops are capable of resisting disease attack and can mature early, thereby increasing the yield of crops. We have to make use of resistant varieties. Another one is use of good crop varieties. There are some varieties of crops which naturally will grow well in different environmental conditions. Yes, this is very true. We have some crop varieties that even when the temperature is very high, they would grow well. Even when temperature is very low, they will still grow well. So once you know these crop varieties, then you know when you are going to plant them. This particular seed is meant for the rainy season. This particular seed is meant for the dry season. Thank you for watching. See you in our next class. Thank you very much. Bye.